In 49 other states, it's just basketball. But this is Indiana. The Pacers snag game 3 at home. We're going to break it all down. Let's get it. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. The Pacers take game 3 in a really good game. The first game, we obviously got a great one. We got the Halliburton game winner, and then we get blowout in game 2. And then game 3 was a very fun game to watch. Now, I will talk about how it was a little sloppy on both sides, but very still fun to watch. As you know, on here, we're going to go through kind of my notes and what happened in the process of this game. We're going to see what they can do better in game 4. And then we're just going to go with the big overall points for the game. Early, I thought OKC did a really, really good job at getting Chet the ball. His confidence was like sky high in the first quarter. Like, he was cutting well, he was aggressive. And then after that, Miles Turner did a great job at kind of just not letting him touch the ball much and him forcing him to take threes. That was pretty much it. And Chet kind of disappeared in the second half for sure. And honestly, just after the first quarter, he kind of disappeared. I thought Ben Sheppard tonight, and I'll get into the other role players, trust me, but I thought Ben Sheppard guarding the main ball handler in the first quarter was really, really impressive. Like, he got a steal on Jalen Williams that was like amazing. He guarded Shea multiple times down the floor. Halliburton was not aggressive to start this game, which we have said that when Halliburton is aggressive, the Pacers win, which will come up later. I think this is insane. So going into the second quarter, I wrote down what bench is going to play better today. Is it going to be when SGA and Hallie are off the floor? Is it going to be Indiana's bench or is it going to be OKC's bench? And in this game, it was by far Indiana's bench from the jump. I'll talk about TJ McConnell first. TJ McConnell was kind of the unsung hero of tonight's game, and I think he only had 10 points, but he had 5 steals. I think he had 5 assists, so he had 10, 5, and 5, and he understood the advantage of having home court in the NBA Finals. The fact that when you make good plays, getting the crowd behind you, getting the crowd back into the game is so important. Role players, like they said many times in this game, play so much better at home. And like, that is a big deal. Having the crowd behind you and playing at home is a big deal. That's why teams get higher seedings to have it in the playoffs, because home court advantage is one of the biggest deals when it comes to playoff time. So you got to win your games at home, and Indiana has done a very good job of that in the playoffs. And TJ McConnell realized how important that was tonight, and he got the crowd back into these games. Some of his steals made him look like genuinely like a football linebacker or a soccer player going to get a header. Like, he didn't look like a basketball player tonight. He looked like a true athlete. And that's what was impressive with TJ McConnell. Their bench was just playing out of their mind too. So like, Ben Mathurin is the next guy, and if you know and you listen to me, Benedict Mathurin is my guy. I love Benedict Mathurin. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA to watch, one of my favorite young players. And he was incredible tonight. I mean, he led the Pacers in scoring. He had 27. And what he does so well is, I was actually like trying to compare him to like, what would be a good comparison for Benedict Mathurin? And I thought Jimmy Butler. And he didn't have like the shot-making ability quite yet of Jimmy Butler, but the way he gets to the line and gets his feet in the paint and like cuts and does all the little things right is so impressive. It reminded me of Jimmy Butler a lot tonight. And Ben Mathurin was incredible. And then the last guy was Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin, I believe he was a plus 18 in this game. Ben Mathurin was a plus 16 and TJ McConnell was a plus 12. Obi Toppin it felt like this series could have been a rough one for him, because in game 1, he had the early turnovers and he didn't play well, and then he started hitting shots in the second half. And then in game 2, he was still hitting shots. They lost that game. In this game, he hit good shots. He had incredible offensive rebound where he pretty much jumped on Lou Dort and like didn't touch him, but like jumped over Lou Dort. Like incredible offensive rebound and dunk put back that got the crowd into it to kind of close that game out. Obi Toppin was incredible tonight. I thought the Pacers did a really good job at doubling tonight and playing well on Shea. I thought Shea had a really good game, though. I do want to give props to him and Jalen Williams. I thought they played incredible tonight. But I thought the Pacers did a good job at when Shea turned his back, they went to double every time. And they were like, we're going to make someone else beat us, which it wasn't going to be Chet. J-Dub was the only one that was really making shots tonight. And that speaks another thing for OKC. No bench players showed up. No role players showed up tonight. We didn't really get a great offensive performance from Alex Caruso. We got the defense as we always do. Lou Dort hit 5 threes, I think, or 4 threes, which, usually happens. But besides that, there was nothing else. Isaiah Joe did nothing off the bench. Aaron Wiggins, who, if you know me, Aaron Wiggins is, I think, my favorite role player in the entirety of the NBA. He was horrible tonight in his limited minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein has sucked this whole playoffs. Like, I don't understand why he's not trying his floaters. It's one of the most unstoppable floaters in the NBA this year. He's not even trying it. The role players did not step up for OKC tonight, and it was the total opposite on Indiana's side. Their role players were incredible. I thought the Pacers have actually outplayed OKC defensively tonight. OKC was sloppy offensively, and their defense was good, but the Pacers' defense came to play. Halliburton was great on defense. Like, I haven't seen Halliburton that, I guess, electric on defense in a really long time. I thought he was really good tonight. Besides that, I don't think I really have much. Yeah, the Pacers played Pacer basketball, and if you know me and you know what I like to strive for is when teams get into playoff scenarios, whether that is college basketball, whether that is the NBA, whether that's the NFL, whether that's any sport. If you're in a team sport, your team should play the game you play no matter how big the game is. Pacer basketball is running the floor and turning you over and getting points off of turnovers, getting the crowd behind them. That's Pacer basketball. Run you out the gym. And that's what they did tonight. And like when teams switch up and they don't play their game, it usually doesn't work out very well. And the Pacers, I thought tonight was the best showing they've had of their Pacer basketball in this entire series. I think instead of OKC, I think losing game one, tonight the Pacers beat them. OKC lost game one because that's just an incredible shot by Halliburton. The Pacers got back in it. I think you just lost that one. You just kind of have to move on. You win game two. And then you lose game three. You get beat in game three. Like, the Pacers beat you in game three. And you lost. And that's it. It was a terrible showing from OKC, in my opinion, tonight. There was a stat that came up on the screen that the Pacers are 20-1 when Halliburton scores 20 and 10. Guys, he scores 10 assists a lot. The 20 points is usually the problem. And Tyrese Halliburton was not aggressive to start the game. He got aggressive real quick in that second quarter and throughout the rest of the game, which when he's when he's looking to score, he's incredible. But like, what he's so good is his eyes, and his eyes are always looking everywhere else but the rim, which is what a lot of players, you actually aren't taught to do that when you're little. Or when you're growing up, you're taught to actually look at the rim, wanting to go score. Halliburton's first instinct every time is to pass the ball, which I love, and it makes him so hard to guard, but at some points, he's got to take the shot. He's the best player on the floor. You got to take the shot. Or the best player for your team. You got to take the shot. So I thought he got better at that tonight, and that was, honestly, that's one of the reasons why they won. I think the Pacers played with an older, mature aspect to them tonight. Like, they didn't seem like they're this young team. They feel like they're the older team, which I think they technically are older than OKC, but they're still very, very young. And like, Benedict Mathurin did not look like he's 22 years old or 21 years old, however old he is. That kid looked like he's been playing in the NBA for 10 to 15 years. Like, so I thought the Pacers were really good at handling the moment tonight. And then, yeah, the last point for OKC is you got to have others behind you. And I know I kind of said that, but like Chet disappeared in the second half. iHeart didn't even try to score. And then, like I said, Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins have to bring something off the bench. Lou Dort was hitting shots. Alex Caruso's got to bring something offensively. It just feels like Kenrich Williams in his limited minutes did nothing. Like, it feels like OKC got just, which they did, destroyed in the bench minutes. And like that, you have to have a full bench if you're going to win the NBA Finals, especially against this Pacers team that runs like 11 or 12 deep. And tonight, I didn't think they didn't go that far. Thomas Bryant barely played for the Pacers tonight, but they did a really good job at. Rick Carlisle, once again, did a great job at his rotations, knowing who to put in at the right times, knowing Benedict Matherin's got the hot hand, so make plays for him to go score. Rick Carlisle, once again, out coaching. I think he's even out coached in game 2, just the players weren't playing very well for the Pacers. That was just a blowout, and we talked about that. So, yeah, I think the MVP of this playoffs for the Pacers is Rick Carlisle. And I know I've said that a lot, but it is incredible the rotations he makes at certain situations. So that's really all I got. I think in game 4, the main things that the Pacers are going to have to do is to keep up the pace, man. You have to keep playing your game. You have to play fast. You have to turn OKC over, which they did a great job at tonight. OKC was sloppy in this game, dude. They did not look like the OKC Thunder we have watched the entire season. They just didn't look like them tonight. And maybe it's an off night, and that's okay. So the Pacers have to continue to turn OKC over and not turn the ball over. And it's kind of the exact same thing for OKC. You got to turn Indiana over more, and you can't turn the ball over. So whoever I think turns the ball over more is going to lose, which the fact that the Pacers turn the ball over, 26 times and won game 1 is insane outright. But I think whichever team turns the other team over more is going to win this NBA Finals. I think the defense is going to be the biggest factor. And OKC has to get quality minutes and quality, like Cason Wallace has been incredible this series defensively, but he hasn't brought much offensively. So, like, they've got to find a source of offense when they go to a bench lineup when Shea and Jalen Williams are off the floor. They have to find another source of offense. So that's going to be the question for OKC is who is that guy? Is it Aaron Wiggins? Is it Isaiah Joe? Is it Isaiah Hartenstein finally waking up? Is Chet going to start making threes? There's a bunch of questions that OKC is going to have to ask themselves tonight. And there's a lot of film to look at. And they're going to come back in game 4 and they're going to be ready to play. And I think that's going to be a very good game once again. I said in the last video, I think the Pacers are going to win 2 in a row back. I think they're going to go 3-1 back to OKC. I don't know how it's going to turn out there. I have Pacers in 6, but I was thinking about it, and it's like OKC's like the golden child, and they're like this perfect blend of players and defense and offense, and they should win the series. But then there's the Pacers, who they don't have all that, but they've got like something, and you don't know what it is exactly. They've just got this like something to them that is so much fun to watch, and it's the reason they're winning games. And it's really hard to put a finger on exactly what it is. Maybe it's the pace of play, maybe it's the bench unit, maybe it's Halliburton hitting clutch shots. I don't know exactly what it is, but you know what OKC can do, and you know how good they are, and the Pacers are just, they've got this spark to them that just is so incredible to watch. So going into game 4, I do think it's going to be a good one. That'll be Friday, I guess. So that video will be up Friday night. If it's a good game. If it's a really bad blowout, I probably won't post. Maybe I'll post a short or something. But if it's a decent game, I'll definitely post a little video. Yeah, besides that, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, a little, I guess, announcement. After all the NBA Finals stops, we're going to be doing draft videos and stuff, and prospect stuff. But I was thinking about starting a little series with, like, shorts on YouTube. And it would be called 30 for 30. And it would kind of a play on words for, like, you know, if you know 30 for 30 on ESPN, it's like a documentary series and stuff like that. it would be a play on words. We would do 30 different NBA players from the 30 different teams, the most underrated player on each team. We would kind of highlight their story and talk about them. I think it was a really cool idea, seeing like Aaron Wiggins last game and then Benedict Mathurin in this game. I kind of want to highlight some of the most underrated players in the NBA. I think it could be a cool idea. So let me know what you think. And besides that, I think that's all I got. So peace out, guys.